and I put up my own money. All these so-called moguls y'all talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours. So how much money can you get paid to not? There's no money in this world for someone to pay me so they could call me, so I can call them a boss. That's like calling somebody daddy. How can a man call another man, yo, that's my boss? We don't do that.
I mean, everybody at some point has to have a boss, right?
No, not in Harlem. Oh, okay. Put it like this.
Because you're somebody's boss.
No, I'm not somebody's boss. When I was in the street, someone wasn't your boss. They gave you an opportunity.
Okay.
They gave you some work. You go make it, and then you bring it back. You can go buy your own work. You do whatever you want. It's called consignment.
So why this can't be all work? This corporate America, we could be using
you don't
this.
own it.
But
I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Question. Let me answer your question. Can you give it to your son?
I give what to my son?
Whatever you
shares
want
in this company, I absolutely positively can.
How?
How? Because I own shares of this company.
You bought them?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, can your son eat? Is this yours to give the whole company
this
to you?
This company is not my son's. No,
exactly.
It's not mine. But I own
wait,
shares
stop.
of this company.
Listen. It's not my question. If your son needs a job here, can you give it to him?
What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy, Who Can, Cal Can.
What's good, Cal? Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy, DJ Original, man. Welcome back to another episode.
Free Game, the podcast, speaking about legacy, entrepreneurship, but we are, and we have to, we'd be remiss if we don't address, what the current state of the COVID-19 is right now, man. So, reissuing that, like, shout out to everybody that's working through it. I actually just was acknowledged that one of my close family friends actually caught it.
Same.
And it was crazy because his wife was working in a hospital and she's thinking she's okay and she's going to several hospitals, goes home. My man catches he's kind of overweight, has diabetes, and they giving him till today actually to be gone, man. So prayers to that bad. But he, older gentleman and kind of like I said, overweight and has diabetes. So they said he has like a 20% chance of like recovery. And that's gonna be a tough one for me. But prayers to his family, to your loved ones, everybody that's because this is a serious thing. So
take it safe. And with that being said, y'all know we really want to get into today's topic, but we be remiss without just paying dues to the time. If you check the death count for the coronavirus, have you checked it lately?
No, I have not.
I'm gonna check it right now. Last time I checked, we're leading everyone else by like double. So Italy was probably the worst. I don't even need to check it. If it gets any worse, it's just gonna continue to be bad. So Italy had the worst, little epidemic with the lockdown stuff. So they were at about like 200,000, and then the deaths were like 3,000 somewhere in there. We're at 300,000 cases. And our deaths are like at 10,000 now.
And so I was seeing that in the places that is more or less affected by, for like New York and Chicago, like they're all on top of each other. And somebody was just telling me that the other day, like they're walking, they gotta travel. They cars aren't really, something that they practice out there. So it is hot air because they're always around someone or around people. So.
And then I was hearing they have no real access to getting to medical help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Chicago, you know what I'm saying? They were saying a lot of the black people are dying is because they're not getting any treatment.
Yeah.
And they don't have anything. It's kind of like the hurricane that hit Houston.
Yeah.
If you don't have anybody helping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you...
Insurance, all types of stuff that plays a part. But this podcast was solely created, off the strength of me and LaRon wanting to provide our viewers, our followers, and just us in general as we continue to learn about giving free game. So we trying to get back on topic. We've addressed Corona 2 episodes.
We don't want to fall in this.
Yeah. We don't want to be Debbie Downers every time y'all see this Free Game, the podcast. So our topic today, entrepreneurship and legacy, how they both intertwine. So obviously I'm an entrepreneur. LaRon's an entrepreneur. So we're going to give y'all some tidbits or some different things that we've learned throughout the years on becoming entrepreneurs. So
talk to him about that Dame Dash intro.
Yeah. To me, man, one of the most entertaining interviews I've seen at the Breakfast Club, especially not only being an entrepreneur, but I actually and one of the people that actually respect Dame Dash.
I respect Dame Dash.
And his entrepreneurial spirits, but also his grind and his hustle, especially within the black community. So obviously he's talking about, for a short story, he's basically trying to bring on Charlemagne the God and what's the other? Envy on just acknowledging the fact on the importance of being a boss and legacy, about how important it is to actually be involved in ownership and owning things and being able to actually pass your things that you own to somebody else. And I think that this is a very important topic, especially to me and the things that I'm actually trying to pursue in my life. So what'd you take from it as far as...
First of all, y'all got to stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
People only know what the media tell them about Dame Dashes, and we praise and idolize Jay-Z because that's what the media, you know what I mean?
Facts.
You got to really study these people. And that's why I appreciate a person like Calvin. And we study these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these greats that we talk to y'all about, we really go in here and we study and figure out how we could also do the same thing. So for me, though, touching back on, like you were saying with leaving, legacy to me means something like a much lower level of legacy would be like how you treat your kids.
Yeah.
No one ever really thinks about it that way, but look at it like this. When you have a child that is malnourished or you can tell doesn't get any attention, look at their stock in life. They're usually not caring about school. They're not in colleges. They're not moving forward. But if you got a parent that's on top of his stuff, you know what I'm saying? He's instilling what? Something behind. Something is being left to this, your son or daughter.
And I'm gonna bring you to a deeper example that I like to chime in on legacy. No offense to any race or anything like that. I'm watching currently these shows like Succession. I just watched the movie The Banker. But in San Antonio, our Mexican heritage, when you go to these Mexican restaurants and you go to get these tacos, you got your men working the cooks, and then you got your ladies working in the windows and the waitress.
You all right.
And everybody, the bus boys, guess who that is? That's little cousin Ray Ray.
Yeah,
and the people that's on the cook, that's your son Chapo. And on the window, it's Marietta and her daughter.
You're leaving something for your family to
and guess what? Their family is growing up in that stock of ownership, family business. How it's important to give something off from when she's a little cook, when she graduates and she's now the manager cook. She's now the manager of the business. You know what I'm saying? So just in San Antonio alone, go to these Mexican restaurants. You don't see no black people working back there. You don't see no white people working back there. That's all family. All family. So this topic is very important to me, and I think I'm going to dive into a real deep segment about this stuff, because to me, I think this is one of the most important things that I feel like our people lack.
That we miss.
Yeah, that too.
We totally missed that boat for some reason.
That too. But going back to being an entrepreneur, speak a little bit about, what is an entrepreneur to you, or what actually, like, I guess you say, you're able to look at somebody like they're an entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur to you?
I'm going to tell y'all like I tell my DJs, man. Mm-hmm. How much money did you make at the end of the year? Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear nothing else but your bottom line. Mm-hmm. A business's job is to generate income. All right? I mean, last time I checked, we running businesses so we can make money.
Yeah, fact.
I seem to meet a lot of people that they more caught up into the attention, or they more caught up into the I'm a business owner, or bro, it's like this homeowner stuff. When you get a house, that's cool. There's a period where you're celebrating, but there's another period where there's a lot of work that goes into that. So for me, I judge an entrepreneur based on their success. And their character. Their mission. Their motto. That's one thing I'm working on right now. I'm revamping my motto, my mission for Original Productions. But your success.
I would say entrepreneur to me, let alone, like I said, the biggest, or I guess the biggest mistake that people make is business is to, like he said, is to generate wealth, to generate money. So going into business and being an entrepreneur, to me, entrepreneur is someone that actually is the creator or the creative of whatever business industry they are a part of. Being able to navigate from 9 to 5 and being able to sustain whatever industry that they're a part of. Entrepreneur is somebody that can stand on their own 2 feet, able to create lemonade out of lemons, being very ambitious, not really taking no for an answer. Because all the entrepreneurs that we've looked at or that we've studied never took no for an answer. They've always done what they needed to do to get where they needed to get. So that's kind of where I look at, or I guess I would be able to pinpoint entrepreneur, being able to withstand obstacles, turbulence, and still being able to withstand storms
for years to come, not just here for, you know what
exactly,
I'm saying,
not
5
here
minutes.
for a quick minute. You know, when these companies say they've been serving San Antonio for more than 40 years, that's legacy. That's putting your foot in the ground.
I'll tell you what else is important to me when I meet somebody and we talking about businesses, or, you know, before we can even get to legacy, you gotta have something to leave behind. So, and I'll use you as an example. I'll tell you the truth, bro. Cal's my best bro. We've been bros for a decade now. That's so cool to say. But bro, when Cal first came at me with the, you know, the San Antonio's very own brand, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I mean, I just kind of took it like anything else. You know, Cal's, you know, he'll create a lot of stuff. But to see where it is today, you know what I'm saying, just being truthful. But it says a lot to what your vision for it was. I was telling the homie the other day, I was like, most people fail because they don't set large goals. Cal's out here trying to get his, and I bet y'all his stuff will be in Walmart. Because he has a bigger goal for his brand. Where you meet somebody else, they'll be like, oh yeah, I want to do a brand. You expect them to sell some shirts and, you know, try to do their thing. But bro has been on TV. He's been having meetings with people trying to get his stuff into Walmarts. And now you creating it and taking it literally to a level that I just didn't see at the forefront. So that's what's important to me when I sit with somebody. What is your real vision? How far does it go?
Vision is very important. Appreciate the kudos. That is actually very important. And two, when you do watch shows or you do watch these people that we are studying, that's what's most important. I was just watching Suge Knight. The All-American
That
Dream.
joint was good.
You saw it?
Suge Knight's joint was good.
All-American,
Yes,
where he
sir.
was just like, these rappers get confused from the pimp and the hoe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of these people come into the rap game wanting to just be famous. They don't really care about the longevity of money and being here for 20, 30 years. They don't care. They just want to be famous. They not really about the money. Where I, like Suge Knight said, I've always been about the dollar.
And the people thinking it's changing. You saw what happened with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, bro.
People think that this 360 thing is like some of the past.
Bro.
It stills today.
And it will be here forever because as long as somebody is able to benefit you as a person that you would have not been able to do on your own, they will always be able to charge you. They will always be able to say, here's my hand in your pocket. And until you're able to sustain on your own 2 feet, that is when you have solidified yourself.
You're dependent
as an entrepreneur, to me and to him. So shout out to Original Productions too, because mind you, we kind of got on the same wavelength around the same time, because he moved back to San Antonio. I was in Dallas, you know, being a sponge. As I come back to San Antonio, I was telling LeRon, like, hey bro, when I come back, it's on. Like we
you
on.
don't ever really think somebody's serious. You were very serious.
Facts. I was just I was on another wavelength of energy, and which brings us to our next topics, or in terms of as an entrepreneur, when being an entrepreneur, what are some of the strengths, or in that same person that you're looking at as somebody that's been able to have vision, what other strengths do you seek or that you have as an entrepreneur that other people that are trying to be entrepreneurs need to actually grasp?
People need to grasp what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and this leads into one of my key points too, which is why.
Yeah.
In college, we heard a lot of that, because that's the time where we're finding ourselves. Yeah. When you're at home, you just listen to the people. When you start to get out on your own, everybody asks you, what's your major?
Yeah.
Why? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you kind of paint this, you kind of had this answer prepared. You know what I mean? In college, you'd be like, oh, I'm a computer science, I'm doing this, I would like to, which is funny because sometimes obviously it doesn't work that way, but it really at a deeper level, really, why are you doing it? It shouldn't just be a prepared answer for somebody. For me, my favorite thing to play with people in like let's say I'm interviewing somebody or I'm just motivating somebody, 7 layers deep. You should always ask 7 whys on something you do. Okay,
That's a
so
book. That's a book.
you want a house or you want a business. Why? Okay, why?
Actually, we tried to start this book club, and we was reading that book, The Levels of Success, and they talked about it. Dean Rogowski or something like that, I believe his name was.
Because at the seventh layer, once you add so many whys,
emotional.
the real why is for things like your father,
Facts.
for your family,
Facts.
and you get misconstrued with the cars, and the cars are up there,
and I definitely
the women are up there. But when you go after you have the car, after you have the women, we say what? Why?
Yeah.
So you're forced to keep coming down to these things that really are the reason for your actions, and it's usually, like I said, the things that are free. Your family, being able to leave something, and that's my thing, and that's what I'm telling y'all. The reason why y'all getting to see it before it starts, we leaving something for our family, and that was my favorite part about what Dan Dash said. If you're not putting your own money up, you're not a boss. Not to me.
Facts. I mean, that's
your own money up.
So I would say that's the strength of having capital as an entrepreneur, being able to save money. If you are not actually prepared to be an entrepreneur, but you're working a 9 to 5 for a couple of years or whatever, however long, but the money that you are generating, you are then filtering it to what your dreams or aspirations are, which then is still sustaining whatever you're doing in terms of your bills or whatever else you're doing, but definitely always being able to filter your own business with your own money.
Exactly.
Because the moment that you use someone else's money, that's when you are losing your leverage as an entrepreneur.
That's where I stand.
Yeah.
Know your why,
Yeah.
because I think you can't do anything until you have that. And then use your own money.
Yeah. I would say one of my strengths that I look at for in terms of when I'm speaking to entrepreneurs is their longevity or their consistency. It's very hard.
Consistency.
It's very hard to be consistent in the
that one up.
generation.
Consistency.
It's very hard to be consistent in our generation because, like I said again, our attention span is so short and people concentrate on different things or get distracted easily. If people have sustained their business for over 5 years, 10 years, think about it. Companies don't give you full benefits until you've completed a year or maybe 2 years.
Facts.
Which means they want to see if you're able to even sustain. Hey, what happens when this car breaks down? What happens when he can't find a ride to work? Are they still going to be able to get to work? What are the obstacles that you go through as an entrepreneur that you're able to sustain and continue to find the consistency to be able to still have your business on the uprise or on the upswing? So when I'm speaking to people, I actually literally look for their consistency. Because if you've made a couple of dollars, and then if Samuel L. Jackson says this in the movie The Banker to the ambitious young one, when you get rich, you're going to change. Because you're going to be easily distracted.
Facts.
You're going to lose your focus on what the same guy that's in front of me right now, once you get rich, you're going to change. And exactly what Samuel L. Jackson said is exactly what happened to be
and
true.
who you really are, your real whys,
Yeah.
are just going to be more exacerbated.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said it because his real whys started to unfold throughout the movie.
Why you really doing what you
What was the real reason why you wanted to have this bank? And why did you want to filter and build this template? Only to then move back to Texas to then become and meet your downfall. So as far as what I look for in terms of strength of entrepreneurs is consistency. As far as one of my strengths, I would just say that one of my strengths as an entrepreneur is I would say I love my creativity as a strength of my entrepreneurship, because I don't know what it is, and I'm not bragging on my skills as an entrepreneur. I am very creative. I know what I believe. I'm almost like, I call myself Kanye West often because I feel like anything Kanye West creates, it turns. Like it becomes what he thought it was going to become. And I really, when I'm actually in tune with my entrepreneurial spirits, everything that I've created have become, shout out to Moms Interrupted the Live.
Moms,
one time. But when I indulge into my entrepreneurial spirits, that is something that I've been proud of, which is my creativity.
And on the topic of legacy, straight into the mic, I know Calvin's people. Calvin's moms, Calvin's pops, or pops, You know what I'm saying? Yo, these people are entrepreneurs. Me and Cal came up, and this is beauty. So you can actually, if somebody see what somebody left you. Because I'm sorry, I've always seen, you know, you from a lens that you can't see yourself.
Yeah, facts.
Your family put that entrepreneur spirit in you. I'm just being real. You come from a hustling family,
Yeah,
so
facts. Facts. And even then, some people, and that's where we're getting to legacy though, because yes, the blood is within my veins, right? But ultimately, am I being handed the baton? They know I'm the fastest person on the track.
Okay.
But for some reason, they got me on the last leg, where I could actually, you know, with me being young and having energy, are the people handing the baton off to where you're able to then run and show your speed in the right. Are people putting you in the position that you needed to be in to be able to run the race? You see what I'm saying?
I do, and I think the weird part with it is too, okay, because I guess a gift, leaving something back, and I hate this because with black people, usually all we leave back is a house.
Yeah.
And the family usually argues about it.
Yeah.
And so you really didn't leave anything back because everybody argued about what you left. But to me, the problem comes in with, okay, you do build up a big brand, something useful. And then your kids grow up, but they don't have that same ruggedness, that same getting through the struggle that you had, so they don't really take care of the business in the way that it should. I guess that's not how you should look at it or think about it. You just should be more focused on leaving it. But what I'm trying to get to is now you have a why when you're looking at your baby girl, you're looking at your kids and your friends.
Facts.
You need to be instilling this in them from the moment they're born. That way they know, what did E.T. say? Boy, I didn't send you to college to get another business rich.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you something. You're working for this, you're going to build off of it.
But to your point, when people are handing off something, right? Okay. In the event that they're handing off something, you need an opportunity to be able to then show what you have developed, your strengths, your weaknesses. And I say that because no one got anywhere without being granted an opportunity.
Facts.
So even in this other show that I'm watching, plug to the show that I'm watching on Succession, if you are instilling something in your kid and they're not adapting to it, or legacy, if it's a family member or a cousin, however, if they're not adapting to your environment, it's that you created the environment for them to then have the opportunity to be able to take from that tree and then go about their business. It's the environment and the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm putting you in this lane. You know, but I don't want to run in this lane. Well, use that same energy because you got my blood in you. So you are an entrepreneur. But whatever lane you want to be a part of, here's $10,000. Here's $15,000. I saved you 20 racks.
I agree with you.
See what I'm saying?
Because now you're giving me.
You might not want to be in the taco spot. You might not want to. You might not want to be a cook. But guess what? I appreciate your work ethic that you've shown throughout the years. You've helped me out. You've helped me at the car wash. You've helped me do X, Y, and Z. Matter of fact, man, you got your own brand. Here's a $10,000 jump start.
I think if you make it understood what you're leaving for your family, I think they don't even fight after you're gone. Because I made this clear to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But what happens is they either don't do their will or so.
And guess what though? And then it doesn't. When I mean legacy is not just what you're giving back though too, because it's also important that your last name is going to continue. So for example, if I'm San Antonio's very own, right? Mm-hmm. My daughter gets older, she wants to be in clothes, but she creates Alea's very own, or she creates Houston's very own, whatever she decides to create. Guess what her last name is? So now, who's your father? Oh, your father created this, but I'm my own person, but my last name still remains. Oh, you from that McGee blood. And you could then be doing different things, but the legacy continues. You see what I'm saying?
How many kids you want, Cal? On some tangent, how many kids you want?
If I'm being real, I have to have a boy.
So you down to keep going until you have a son?
I have to keep shooting my shot.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, man. That's a tough question. It's a tough question for me because that side, you be like, you want a big family, and big families are super fun if they're not super dramatic. But I want 2 kids.
Yeah, I want 3.
I want my children to be able to have all the attention. I don't want them to lack any attention.
Yeah.
a little tangent, but I don't know. I think that's important. We business entrepreneurs and kids, they come.
Yeah,
you gotta know how many you want.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not my personal legacy. I'm just saying that to viewers, legacy has to be important to you.
Yeah,
it has to be important to you because life insurance, all of these other things that you're leaving behind. We don't need to see you on no GoFundMe after someone passes away.
Right.
You should be able to have money to be able to withstand the storms and the obstacles of previous generations in your family. And whatever you're creating, going back to Dame Dash, if your cousins, family, situation, why can't my cousin come work for San Antonio's very own? Why can't your brother come work for Original Productions? You see what I'm saying? You've created something now to where your little nephews and your nieces that are growing up, hey, I'm 15, I'm 14. Hey, come do this trip with me in LA. We going to shoot some film. And guess what they fell in love with? I'm going to work with my uncle. Guess what his last name is? Henderson. You see what I'm saying? And through that, you're creating legacy. Now they don't have to go work for McDonald's when they're 14 and they trying to get a high school job. Hey, come down.
You plan some stuff out for it.
And
I'll tell you this, and I'm not gonna turn this into no dramatic thing, but thankfully Cal loves my DJing. There's a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But here's the funny thing about it: the more that I'm DJing, and I've been DJing for quite a while now, you have to plan your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to plan your sets. So I was reading a book on being a master host of ceremony, which is the MC.
Yeah.
Now you see people, they on the mic, you almost gotta tell them to shut up.
Yeah.
One of the first key points in the book was you should say as little as possible. Your job is to communicate effectively to large audiences.
Yeah.
But yet, what do you see? You hear DJs say stuff like, "Oh, he stole a set," or "He's doing this." One, we all know there's so much music, and then two, DJing is about giving people a good time. So as a DJ, I always DJ better when I plan or I virtually put myself through a set before I do it.
Yeah.
And
visualizing it.
Period. Yeah. So that's a key takeaway for y'all. And you asked me about my strengths earlier.
Yeah.
What makes me, I would like to say, Original Production. One is I'm original. I've always been me. Me and Cal have always been uniquely ourselves. We've never been the follower type. Yeah. We're bosses. Yeah. He'll put his own money up for him. When he needs me, he pays me. Yeah. He doesn't come over here looking for a handout. He puts money up out of because he knows what he's going to be getting in the long run. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put my money up. Yeah. And I'm going to give you simple stuff, and my other strength is I'm going to plan. Yeah. I'm not going to be a failed prospect to my plan.
And I think that's very important to entrepreneurs and, like you said, for your legacy. My mentor's first question to me when I moved to Dallas was, give me your goals. Give me a list of your goals and be very specific about what you want to do in your life. And maybe I've taken detours, but for the most part, I've been consistent with my plans in my life. And everything has developed in just that way. And I believe that when you wake up with a plan, it's actually very harder for you to get deterred. Right. Because you actually have woken up with a plan. Or have wakened, however you proper English, with a plan. So it's really hard to get distracted, get deterred. But once you start fondling and I'm waking up, I don't know what I'm doing today. Oh yeah. It's easy to spend over $500 because you done went to the mall, you wasn't planning to go there, saw something you like, but you actually. How many times have y'all went grocery shopping with a list and then not spent $1 more than what you expected to spend?
You gonna get what's on that list.
Exactly, and that's it. You ain't worried about how good them gushers look.
Especially
they got some good samples out here.
Especially when you're using your own money, not when you.
They got some good samples out here. They done set up the cheese samples. Let me get some. Nah, you know what? I ain't come here for that. I didn't come here to do that. So as an entrepreneur, plan, visualize, be very specific about your goals and the things that you are wanting to accomplish throughout your tenure of becoming an entrepreneur.
And here's my next thing, Kyle. And we've learned that. Yeah. You gotta watch who you got in your circle.
Yeah, facts.
And not only that, here's another layer to that. You always need to be in a room where you're far from the smartest person. If you start becoming successful and you get stuck there, to me, again, you've lost sight of what my definition of success is.
Yeah.
If you stay there, you're no longer moving forward.
Yeah.
So if we were America, for instance, America didn't stop when we came on the shores of New York.
Yeah.
The reason America's the biggest powerhouse to come is because we pushed westward and we continue to, what can we do next? Train. What can we do next? Car. That's why America runs 80%, they own 80% of all the automobile industry.
Yeah.
We continue to push forward. And slight plug to this, which will get back into this quarantine that we're dealing with. Thank God for free game because I've been bored. This is giving us some sense of structure.
Facts.
This is the first outfit that I picked out in 5 days. I mean, it's getting weird around here.
Hey, but I mean, back to the point though, because that is funny. But you know, creating a circle that you have. It is very important to put people around that you're not.
Watch who you have in your circle.
Not only are you not smarter than, but also people that have your best interests. It's very easy to put people around that are just able to, benefit from surrounding themselves around you. But in return, you're not able to benefit from being around them. Right, so you always want to make sure that relationship is consistent with whatever y'all are as not only friends but as entrepreneurs, right? Because crossing bridges in terms of where you want to be as an entrepreneur, you always want to maintain great relationships with everybody because everybody is a customer when you are an entrepreneur. Not just anybody can just be a friend of yours and not be able to then be a customer. I was just watching again. You know, you own a bar, but all your friends keep buying drinks for free. No, you are my friend. You are going to pay for these services. You are going to pay for these things. So when you put yourself around people that always want a discount, never expect them to pay.
Mom, dad, immediate family. That's it. I don't know where.
Never expect them to pay because once you start training the child to be spoiled, they will be spoiled. And then at that point, when you then start going through your deeper dive, guess what? When you take an L as an entrepreneur, as you will, guess what? You're going to start asking for help from them. Hey, man, can y'all buy this? Can y'all do X, Y, Z? Nah, no. I still need my discount.
And that's another thing I think is important, too. And we going to save the stuff we've been watching, like our documentaries, our movies through this. We're going to save those for the end. But, bro, I'm telling you, you would think that the more successful you get, that it get easier.
Yeah.
It kind of seems that way. I'm here to tell y'all right now. Here's another thing. It gets harder as you get more successful.
Yeah, facts.
And the reason is because you start to get more lazier.
Yeah.
You're starting to get more comfortable. You got more people out trying to take your spot now.
Yeah.
You got people around you that may not be in your circle for the right reasons. So here's the funny thing. So if you're not on top of your game every day, they start squeaking through them cracks.
Yep. And what funny example to that is, as an athlete going back to college, when you're an athlete in college, there's always a freshman year.
Oh, there's always a
freshman year. And one of the viewers actually on the live, shout out to my boy Sterling, he could attest to this. You know, as there's always a freshman. And if you're not able to sustain your dominance as a player at your university, there's a freshman that's there to take your spot. There's another recruit that's able to do what you're doing and better. Or they have a longer time period to do such. But if you sustain, San Antonio's very own now has been here for 5 years. Original Productions have been here for X amount of years. When you're able to sustain the success, it's hard for people to come in within those cracks. Your job is to be consistent and steadfast in whatever your plans or your aspirations are as an entrepreneur. You see what I'm saying? So, and then the people around you aren't giving the ingredients to the Krabby Patty to the people that are surrounded because they're asking those questions. Hey, LeBron, so what music do you use on the R&B set? Hey, Calvin, I couldn't even count how many times people have reached out to me. Hey, Calvin, where do you get your selection of clothes? Who did your design? Who created the design? Who gave your flyer? They want the ingredients to the Krabby Patty. Unfortunately, I'm in the position where, like you said, we're giving free game. Every time I've been asked to put somebody on or to do something, hey, Hey, I know. Hey, my boy is the best DJ here in San Antonio.
And I will say that you.
I have
give
Courtney.
love.
Yeah.
You give
If
love.
that's my job. I've always been a point guard in my life, so I've always been able to put people in the position that I feel like they're best at scoring. So if you're not that person, if you're more self, which is not a problem as an entrepreneur, just be mindful that people are always going to be wanting to know your ingredients. But if you are an entrepreneur or a boss, as you say, you should be able to sustain. You could do whatever you want to. It ain't gonna be better than what I give you. Period. I could tell you where I got my clothing line, where I got my clothes. I could tell you everything, but guess what? It ain't San Antonio's very own.
And I love standing behind that. That's a certain confidence you just have to have.
Yeah. And it wasn't developed overnight. Who Can Cal Can was not, the day after success. This is a practice confidence. This is a practice quality of making sure that I'm consistent with my bro. If I do anything visual, I'm not. You can tell when things are off, or you can tell when your business or your hey, I can tell like in Billions where they was tasting the Twinkies. He was like the ingredients ain't the same when I was 12. You could tell. You could tell. So as an entrepreneur, it's important that you stay consistent. And I love how everything we're talking about is going back to wrapping around to the things that we've already discussed. Staying consistent as an entrepreneur. If you are going to give the ingredients to your Krabby Patty, it can't be like yours. But
imagine if we did. I can't wait till a year from now.
Yeah.
When once our clientele from Free Game finally starts building up, guess what? Y'all will be saying, they ain't lying. They have been doing it.
Yeah.
We saw them. Right now, you're looking at 4. You're looking at 5.
Yep.
Guess what? Next 2-3 months, you're looking at 10.
Yep.
You're looking at 20.
And guess what? Stop watching and start doing. If you are
Perfect.
If you are, inspired by us or inspired by the episodes, stop watching.
And start
doing. I know every time I get inspired, I stop what I'm doing and I do what I'm thinking. I never watch a whole episode. If I get inspired by something, I promise you, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, if I was inspired by something, I stop doing what I'm doing and I stop watching what I'm doing, or stop watching and I start doing what I'm inspired by. So if you watching right now and you're inspired, stop. Start doing.
And I'll say, don't be scared. Look, slight plug to the production company, man. Big shout out to the Party Bus.
Yeah.
Finally got it paid. Painted, excuse me. Not paid, it's paid. Painted.
Yeah.
Finally got that bus painted, man. And it's just, it feels so good to really step out on your own and do something.
Yeah.
And it took way longer than I thought it was going to take. But to be able to, get to that finish point is a good feeling, man. So what I would say to y'all is, don't be scared, man, because like he said, as soon as he gets inspired, he gonna move. Man, when I tell you the idea to, I had the idea to come up with a Party Bus, but obviously things work in life where, you might not be in the way to get it. But when it happened, I wasn't scared to just run with it.
Yeah.
Here's this ugly bus.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Don't be scared to get in there and work.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're done, you're gonna look back too after the work, like, man, the work was fun.
Yeah, facts. Don't be fearful is what he's saying. Like, don't be fearful. Don't be scared. Be vigilant. Like,
vigilant.
And at the end of the day, like Nipsey said, rest in peace, who would you want to judge you? Someone else or yourself? You look in the mirror. Nobody else looks in the mirror for you. If you missing out on opportunities to become an entrepreneur or to do the things that you want to do, put one step in front of the other. Lay a brick down every day. It don't matter if you did 5 push-ups one day, 10 push-ups the next, 15 the next. As long as you putting the brick down day by day by day, you're going to eventually build a wall. And at the end of the day, as long as you putting that foot in front of the next, bro, don't be fearful. Do what you got to do. And I will tell you, as an entrepreneur, a slight gem, if you think of a name, if you think of an invention, write that stuff down, go DBA the name, go trademark the name, go look on Google.
What's the process for trademarking?
Yeah, so
what's your process that you had to go through for San
So
Antonio?
for me, I all right.
Yeah. Nah,
the ingredients, but I don't give a damn.
Free
but
game.
basically,
you get in the paid game.
got the name. As soon as I thought of the name, I went on Google. I type in San Antonio's very own, and you will literally just see the subject line, but you won't see it actually being trademarked or LLC or is running as a business.
Okay.
So first thing I did is Google it, or doing business as DBA San Antonio's very own. Then you could simply just go down to the courthouse when you go in to get your paperwork. When you go in to go get your paperwork, they ask you what's the name of your business. And it got to be very specific. So if you're spelling something awkwardly, so like if you're spelling season, SZN, it has to be specific to the T. San Antonio's very own apostrophe, whatever. And then they put it in this database. And if you're trying to trademark it, it has to be, they're going to do a database search on the United States.
Oh, wow.
When you're DBAing something, you could DBA something in your own state and in your own city. So you can actually DBA something that's only in Texas. So if you have Original Productions and you've DBA'd it, it's only in Texas. But there could be another Original Productions in
I need to
Oklahoma.
go down to the office.
Yes, you need to go down to the courthouse and actually do a United States search. So therefore, if it's not being used, you can then trademark it in LLC, which trademarks are very important because going back to legacy, that is something that could be sold. Right? So for example, San Antonio's very own, right? When I was doing the website, the domain name, SanAntoniosVeryOwn.com, $800 to buy it.
Outright or that's just
outright. Outright. SanAntoniosVeryOwn.com. Imagine 10 years from now when I've already gotten to Walmart's, doing X, Y, and Z with companies.
You can sell it. Exactly.
And guess what?
Don't though.
Don't sell out. Guess what? When my daughter becomes of age, say she goes through a rut, she needs some cash flow. Like Dad, sell my name, baby, because it's gonna be worth something when I'm gone. You see what I'm saying? So DBA trademark. If you're able to think of a creative name or doing it, bro, get it. Go. Stop watching. Start doing. Go tomorrow. Go to the courthouse. Google the courthouse. Whatever. Put in your name in a database search and be able to take that name throughout the United States. So therefore, if anything were to happen, your name is secure. You're able to trademark it. Nobody can use San Antonio's very own. And mind you, you could also sue in the pursuit of somebody
using your
likeliness. So for example, shout out to my girl Taryn, if she's watching. She goes out one night, right? She goes out. She's at a club, at a bar. The bar has a drink called Slam Antonio's very own.
Okay.
She sent it to me. I sent it to my lawyer. The likeliness of this, two things can happen. They could either pay you, or you could sue them.
Or you gotta discontinue it.
Or you gotta cut their name off. They have to remove that name. Is that cutthroat? Is
I
that
remember
thorough?
you telling me about something like that.
So any likeliness, any, this is too similar to what I've done. Hey man, I'm gonna need that check, or y'all gonna have to take that name down immediately.
And stuff really
it is business.
Is that serious too?
For sure.
If you look at 50 Cent, he had an interview and he was talking about him and Mayweather.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he had some stake in the money team logo, and he was like, man, if I wanted to, I could, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
and I'm like, bro, it really gets that serious. It don't hit you until you get big success.
And
so you gotta have all your stuff.
And don't underline it, because every time I see San Antonio's very own, they could be doing an interview. San Antonio's very own. I just mark it down. I don't want to pursue it right now.
I'm gonna follow you.
I'm gonna let it sit, because that's exactly how the other people do business. You ain't gonna get hit until you look. The only reason you ain't getting hit in your head playing music on your stories yet. But trust me, if Drake would have played some music, Kanye played some music in the background. They getting that lawsuit. Yeah. And you can't be using my sound because I know you doing this for publicity. Yeah. It's big boy talk. Facts. So when you, as an entrepreneur, start thinking longevity. Where do you see yourself going 5, 10, 15 years now? Because I promise you, when I'm in Walmart and I'm talking big boy noises, let me see San Antonio's very own run across somewhere.
And that's an active vision. He knew what he wanted. And here's my thing for y'all too.
Yeah.
Like everything can't be about fun.
Yeah.
I get tired of people that always just want to I want to hang out with her because she fun.
Yeah.
Or he ain't fun enough. You ain't entertaining me today. Or I want to.
Yeah.
You need to hang out with people that push you forward.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get you a friend like Cal. You need to get you a friend like somebody that knows something.
Yeah.
And they can teach you something. People
Facts.
always want to hang out with people because they cool or they fun. But what can you learn from that? Y'all got to get out of that fun. You know what I'm saying?
And it's very important to say that because I've always been, like I said, I've never wanted to go to Miami if I couldn't be on the beach. If I can't have fun, I'm not even really too focused on a vacation right now. Because if I can't vacate and actually do the baller things that I want to do,
I feel
it's
you
no
on that.
point in having fun. I'm
Do
not
it the
trying to
right way.
vacate. I'm not trying to vacate right now. It's all about grinding right now. I believe our 20s are most important because this is where we have the energy. We could do 24 days. We could work. We could wake up and stay up 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? And be energetic. And right now, it's about the energy that we have and using it in its filtered position. So, you know, this conversation could go on.
Before we get up out of here, we gave y'all a lot of,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying, small gems in this quarantine.
Facts.
We do need to leave this addressing the elephant in the room,
Yeah,
which
facts.
is how y'all handling this quarantine. We hope y'all are staying fit, getting out the house, man. I had to get a bike. Shout out to the bike. I had to get a bike in this.
It inspired me to be like,
You
you know
should get
what,
one, bro.
I should definitely get one.
Look, free game. Had it not been for free game, I don't know what we'd be doing right now. But tell us some of the stuff you've been watching. We said we're gonna say that for the
Yeah,
end.
facts. I just started watching Successions.
Successions.
It's
That's
on
on what?
HBO. It's
All
on
right, so we're
HBO.
gonna drop that up.
Successions. I watched The Banker with Samuel Jackson, and I've actually started rewatching The Wire.
I've never seen The Wire.
I never have either.
That shit good.
Bro.
The Wire.
Dropped
Alright.
so many gems, so many deep thoughts in terms of how people move, what makes people tick. Started watching The Wire, and I'm kind of sold on those things.
That makes me want to go back and rewatch Roots. I don't think I've seen that all with the mindset that I have now. I've been watching the History Channel. I did the free 30-day trial. So y'all remind me on May 3rd to unsubscribe to that boy.
Yeah.
Go on there and watch America, the Story of Us. It literally talks about our entire story of how America was built.
Yeah.
The fights, the major Battle of the Alamo, you know what I'm saying? The Soviet Union, Civil Wars. It touches all of that.
Yeah.
So informative. Cause like I was watching the Have and the Have-Nots. That joint is a drama though. That's some soap opera stuff.
Yeah.
I had to get out of it, bro. I was in here eating ice cream, watching the Have and Have. I was like, I can't do this. So I had to put on the History Channel. The next one after the Have and Have-Nots, the Ozarks. Everybody know the Ozarks is the shit. Because Buddy Funny, man. I forget the main actor's name, but Ozarks.
Yeah.
And I say the last one for me, I just been studying greatness.
Yeah.
I look up Spike Lee, some of his old, just what he went through to get there. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I just like to study the people that are doing the things that I'm.
And I mean, I'm gonna leave because I had this on my thing. As an entrepreneur, just somebody in general, make sure the person I'm speaking to, you always recreate yourself. Always make sure that whoever is following you or is looking up to you, that you have recreated yourself. Because the importance of legacy is being able to filter your demeanor and your aspirations to somebody that's watching
somebody else.
so that can take on the baton and run the race the same way you would.
Teach somebody, eat well. Each one, teach one.
Reach one.
Teach one. Okay.
Preach one. Teach one. And shout out to Young Thug. Obviously, a lot of people didn't think he had this type of, I guess you would say, wisdom. My man said something real deep to T.I. He said, you must teach what's taught. Real simple. You must teach what's taught. If somebody taught Jay-Z, he must teach someone else.
Big facts.
And
we was talking about that the other day too. God said you're supposed to magnify His glory, and if He give you a blessing, you're supposed to go make 15 out of that blessing. If you come back with the same blessing, you
recreate yourself.
You gotta do what is part.
Teach what's taught. Simple. But I really love this conversation. Like I said, this is now we're diving into exactly the importance of why we're here to do what we're supposed to do. Because as entrepreneurs, bro, this it can get real
Legacy. I'm just glad at our age we thinking about it and we're able to get around people that are doing the same.
And while y'all quarantined up, watch Free Game the podcast.
Yeah, too. Man, show us some love, man. We tried to go live. Shout out to everybody who tuned in on the live. It's our first time going live.
You know what I'm saying?
We really just been doing the work.
Quarantine, shout out. What's the Free Game?
Hey, shout out to my boy Cal. He been doing all of the home DIY work for y'all. We about to start doing a little bit more components to our Free Game the podcast. And while I'm slight plugging him, I will tell y'all our first Monopoly game, which this Free Game podcast came from.
Yeah, you won.
I did. I'm 1-0. This is our first real life tally.
You did.
And we're gonna have another one, and we'll stay true to the tally.
As a matter of fact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find 4 to 5 solid.
We need solid players
because getting on the Monopoly board with us is kind of.
I did win the first joint, and it's hard to win with Cal. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's not an easy competitor. But bro, been doing a lot of stuff at the house. You know what I'm saying? Finding things to do during the quarantine, and we're gonna start showing y'all some do-it-yourself projects at the crib, man. Yeah. Cal been doing it so fast. I'm like, Cal, I ain't even no time to pull the camera out. I wake up, bro.
And my mom actually dropped the gym on me too, though. You know, gardening, is one of the quickest ways to reassure yourself of what you're doing. Like when you garden, you planting, you see it grow. You see the fruits of your labor when you're gardening. You in the yard, you cutting the grass, and you start planting. I've been planting flowers. I know the name.
Seeing you with baby girl and doing all that, I'm like, bro, how old are we getting, bro? Bro doing his thing, man.
Shout out to my baby girl. She about to turn 2.
You doing your thing as a baby daddy, man. These dudes out here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to baby dads.
Hey, look, baby dads across the quarantine. Baby girl turns 2 April 25th, so shout out to my girl. Shout out to Callie, my boy Jordan's daughter.
Slide out to JC, bro. JC been setting the net up with the Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, he doing this thing.
I would post him though. Are we gonna get trademarked, bro?
Yeah, right now. But shout out to our baby girls, man. We decided to have babies around the same time, or whatever. But
bro, it's crazy how this stuff changing, bro. You gardening, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Water and grass.
Gardening.
Yeah, facts.
But good stuff. We gonna be bringing y'all, like we said, we gonna be bringing y'all all the stuff. So again, man, key takeaways: just leave something behind. Know you're wise, and through this quarantine, we're giving y'all some free game. Watch our show. Watch the shows that we just put y'all on. Man, they're so informative. Yeah, they'll make this period, go by much more. It'll be a smooth transition.
We have been getting a lot of good feedback. A lot of people are actually watching and actually are taking things away. So I appreciate the viewership that is happening. Please continue to share. Please continue to subscribe. So you know what it is, man. Who can, Cal can.
It's your boy DJ Original, man. Stay quarantined up.
Legacy, baby.
Let's go. We'll see y'all next time.